Hey folks. Well, what is it? Wednesday? Feels like a Friday. And it's been a while since I've done a stream. I kind of just hopped on, but I've got a big pile of LPs that I bought in Slovenia and also from the UK. First, I was down in down in London, and hit a bunch of my favorite stores in the East End of London. I was busy, so I just had like kind of one, maybe a couple afternoons I was able to hop around. Hey John, how's it going? And so hopefully some of you, I think John, I think you made a comment in one of my videos. So it's nice, like because some of my jazz record walk videos have been. I think I need to come up with some language for them, right? So some are kind of me sitting here at home, all comfy, probably with a beer on the side or some, glass of wine, kind of going through Google Maps and going through my memory, right, of places that I've been, my recollection of how good a collection was, how good the prices were at a particular store, all that kind of stuff, right? That's kind of where I started off doing some of these jazz record store walks. And then what, mid-September, I hop on the plane and I went to Slovenia and Ljubljana is the capital. Had a few stores there. Then spent a couple of weeks in London. Stopped off to see some family and saw another, just a store in between, geographically in between Cardiff in the south of Wales and Manchester, kind of right in between. Jumped off the train, went to a store there and flipped through their collection. And then and then popped up to Manchester, and I really wish I was able to spend more time in Manchester. I don't. Sorry, everyone. Still got a little bit of a cold for my trip. So anyway, had a really great time in Manchester. I spent a couple months there about 10 years ago. That place has really changed. There's towers everywhere now in the basin, which is where you'll find some of the oldest canals dating back, of course, to the Industrial Revolution. And now they're just building up all these condos and it's like Vancouver, right, John? Anyway, only it's in Manchester. And so, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it pretty easy. And if more people hop on, if you feel like coming up, just drop a note in the chat window, and I'll put a link down, and you can just come out and we can chat. But basically, God, my office is a disaster. You can kind of see like this starting to kind of overflow over there, and then there's a whole box down there. Although those are ones that I need to sell. And then I've got a couple others that these are all new purchases, haven't logged them. And so basically, and you can't really see, like down on my desk, I've got my whole setup here to clean. So I'm just going to clean some LPs. And if anyone hops up, that's great. If not, I'm just going to sit here, clean LPs, and I'll just kind of, whatever, talk a little bit about them. A couple, these ones actually came in the mail while I was away. So I've been gone since kind of mid-September. So a couple things arrived in the mail. This is a Wynton Kelly. It's a Japanese version. The cover doesn't look so nice because I saw an original version of this Wynton Kelly trio in kind of rural Ontario, but it had a real bad scratch on it. But I loved it. The guy put it on for me, and I kind of sat there and had a coffee in his store and listened to it, and just absolutely loved it. Kenny Burrell, also one of my favorites here. So anyway, we'll see what that sounds like. I know I'm going to be disappointed. It's a mono. Anyway, we'll see. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to be disappointed. Fuck. And then the other one is this. I think I got these both on eBay or something on Face Records. Sometimes if you look at Face Records and they have, I think everything is listed for like $6.99 US. Not bad. I think they charge about 15 or maybe it's $18 again US just shipped to the States or to Canada. Anyway, some ambient Music, haven't listened to that. That one I wasn't so anyway, I just figured save some money on shipping. So those are a couple. I haven't had a chance to play this one yet, but I want to get into ambient, some kind of spiritual ambient music. So if anyone has any recommendations, please let me know. Anyway, so those were the ones that were waiting for me. And then this one I bought in East London in Hackney at a great store. And oh geez, what's the name of it? Oh shit, Enda something. What is it? Endica Records. I'm not saying that right. Eldica, Eldica. It's in Dalston. Really scrappy place, but I love it. Really lots of ephemera around. Nothing's got plastic, so I've cleaned this one already. This is an OJC. Got a great price on it, £8. I don't know if you can see that. Um, sorry about that, you guys. Coughing my way through the last couple weeks. I don't think I got COVID, but I definitely got some kind of nasty flu when I was in the UK, and wasn't great. Um, then there's Hank Mobley. This one, they had a couple of Hank Mobley, and this one's really cool because it's got Woody Shaw on it, and it fucking kicks ass. Cedar Walton as well. Well, I don't know if you want to see that. Who cares? Who cares, right? I need a better camera. Just maybe I should just clean it. What do you think? Leave a message. Leave a comment in the section below. Hank Mobley, Thinking of Home. So I've cleaned that one already. That one was a little bit more. It's surprisingly expensive. These Blue Note classics from the early, from 79 to I think 82, or maybe even just 81, are getting to be quite expensive. I'm actually not entirely sold on them. I don't think they sound as good as those as the OJCs or the early 70s reissues, the ones with the blue bees, the white and the blue bees. I think those actually sound better. Okay, this one, holy shit, man. It's a bit of a sweary stream, isn't it? This one's awesome. This one has been on my list for a long, long time. Archie Shepp, The Magic of Juju. Does anyone have that one? Holy smokes. This one has gotten to be quite pricey. I think I saw it once in Amsterdam up at the wall. Probably should have bought it then. Yeah, BYG. I collect the French ones, but not the reissues. I don't know what you think, John. I don't think the reissues sound all that great. But I go to Paris a lot, so that's when I usually pick up those original BYG. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if I have any of his on BYG, but this really rocks. So the first side is one track called "The Magic of Juju," the title track for the LP, um, and it's heavy percussion, almost kind of Fela Kuti, very kind of spiritual. And then he just kicks in with a sax, and it's fucking awesome. You can see do you remember these like blue tacky things? I'm gonna say yeah, absolutely, John. Listen to it, especially the first track. It's awesome. It's really kind of, if you're in like one of those moods. Anyway, so the cover's so cool. You can see that someone's put it up on their wall. There's this little, what do you call them, blue tacky things. I guess they didn't want to punch a hole in it. And I remember as a kid and people using this so that you didn't have holes all on your wall. Anyway, so this is an original, but it's a British original. Made and printed in Great Britain. So I'm gonna say that's like, is it a 69? Sorry, I just hopped on. I didn't do any of my research here. Originally, it's an Impulse, of course, but here, let me show you the label. And I saw a few others. Saw quite a few other Impulse, but they have these kind of silver and black LPs. So I'm actually getting to be a little bit of a obsessive kind of completist with Archie Shepp. Archie Shepp also for the longest time, starting in, I'm going to say around 82, was a professor at University of Massachusetts. Sorry, this is where I'm multitasking, everyone. Which is where I went to graduate school. But unfortunately, he didn't teach a lot of big courses. I know he got quite well. He was always political. I was going to say he got political. That was kind of stupid thing to say, but he taught a number of courses. I think most of them were at the undergraduate level, about African American history, culture, and of course, music and jazz. So every time I pull out one of his LPs, I always think about what I missed when I was doing my degree. I actually did 2 degrees at University of Massachusetts. Kind of kick myself. What a loser, huh? Okay, so that's side 1 done. Look at that. This one actually wasn't too dirty, and it's just one of those LPs, you pull out of the sleeve at a used store, and what do you call it? Kind of hairline, the paper lines. That's all there is on this one. This one is a very, very, and now I'm just cleaning it. It's really starting to shine here. So I think this is, yeah. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? If you want to pop up, let me know. Yeah, the 4 for train, that reminds me. I'm just gonna put that up here. They had an original. Was it an original American? It wasn't. Yeah, no, it was a promo. It was a promo original 4 for train at a store, but it had a pretty clickety scratch on it, and I'm like, oh man. But I'd never seen that before. White label, Anyway, Jeff, let me know if you want to come up. I'm just here cleaning my purchases for my extended trip. Actually, normally I get a bag and I go on the plane and just kind of put it next to me, and everyone's cool. Air Canada tends to be pretty cool with my huge side bag, but I got, I don't know how many. It's slightly out of control. I think I got about 15 LPs on this trip. I was gone for almost a month, right? So I don't have to justify myself, do I? All right, so that's the magic of Juju here. Let me get where are my sleeves? Where are my sleeves? There they are. So yeah, John, tell me what you send me a note later and tell me what you think about that. And I haven't played that yet, so it'll be interesting to see, or rather hear, the quality of the kind of original British impulse versus some of those 60s American ones. So that'll be really quite interesting, won't it? There were a lot of I'm just stretching all over here. There were a lot of kind of EMI jazz, a lot of originals that were noticeably cheaper in the UK than than the impulses, the American impulses you see here in Canada, and of course south of the border. Um, a couple of heaters. I like that. All right. What else we got here? Good stuff, John. All right. Let me, wowza. Oh yeah. I think this is one of the finds of my trip. This is pretty awesome. And it's actually a, excuse me, a Polish. I think I showed this on Stunty's stream because I remember now. Isn't that awesome? Look at these heroes. Oh, look at that. Look at that, man. I should take a picture of that and put it up on the wall. Take down that big tree stump there. Anyway. So Ed Edward Vasala, I believe he's the drummer, Finnish guy, and Thomas Stanko. So I think they did 2 or 3 LPs together in the early 70s or the mid 70s. This one's from 76. This is a live recording. These are really hard to find. Um, I don't get to say that very much because I don't have a rarefied collection, as some of you know. But this one was just too good to pass up. So that one actually I found in the former Yugoslavia in Ljubljana. Um, still working. Still working. What does that mean? Working. Working hard for the money. Yeah, you got to pay, Jeff. You got to pay. You got to pay off. Actually, I didn't tell anyone this. This is killer. So I'm in Ljubljana, and I've just bought about whatever, let's say $150 worth of LPs. Waiting at the airport there to go to London, and there's only one flight left. It's a small airport. One flight left to get me to London, British Airways. And we're sitting there, and I just kind of get this weird feeling something's not right. There's something bizarre going on here. And there's this kind of mumble up at the front. Finally, and it's kind of thing that your flight is leaving at 12:30. Well, in this case, should have left at 5:30, I think, and it's 5:45, and there's lots of mumble. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the baggage handlers, get this. So the baggage handlers at the airport have banged into the plane. Why am I laughing? I don't know why I'm laughing, because I'm sitting there for 3.5 hours. Excuse me. I'm sitting there for 3.5, 4 hours waiting for them to determine whether or not the plane is okay to fly, right? Which, again, do you want to get on the plane? There's a label. As you can see how dirty this is. Holy shit. Oh my God, this is so dirty. Again, from Poland. Helicon is the label. Do you want to get on the plane? Yeah, man. I really want to get on the plane. It's the last plane. If we don't get on this plane, I got to get back on the fucking 60 € cab ride back into Ljubljana, and then battle all these folks for a hotel room. Anyway, so I'm going on too much of a tangent here, because the real punchline is we finally get on the plane. Captain comes on, apologizes, says, "Hey man, sorry about that. We're totally fine. It's a minor thing." About 10 minutes before we land in Heathrow, the captain comes back on, says, "Everyone, sorry about that. Really apologize. Everyone was been so great. And also remember to put in for a refund, because the flight is over 6 hours late." Like, what the fuck? I think they do that on Via Rail. It's like our version of Amtrak, right? But come on, they tell you can get a refund because you're over a certain amount of time late. I thought, well, bullshit. Anyway, so I sit down, I get into my place I'm staying, and I go online, fill out all the information on BI and the BA website. Okay, like 2 weeks later, $400 arrives in my checking account from British Airways. Fuckers. Isn't that great? So it's kind of like, okay, I have my record budget. Thank you for banging. Thank you, baggage handlers of Ljubljana, for crashing into my plane. So everything I'm showing you today, everything that I'm cleaning right now as I'm talking. Wow, that's much cleaner. It's so dusty. Was paid for by this 3-hour delay refund by British Airways. Isn't that awesome? I don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever, right, John? Like, when's the last time you heard a good story? And moreover, like, if it were you, would like we're 3.5 hours late. Yeah, did it suck? Yeah, more anxiety about are we gonna make it, or are we not? But it didn't take very long at all before, like, again, it was $395. It was almost $400. And then I just thought, fuck it, man. I'm gonna find some cool shit. Because I've got this nice what is this? There's a gooey bit right there. It doesn't want to come off. That is a nice budget to work with. And I think I probably spent it all in between, this spendy one that I did talk him down a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, Jeffrey. It's apparently that's not an unusual story. I guess in the EU, it's an EU policy, right? You should check it out. Like Google EU and late flight penalties. So I guess it's quite hardcore. They're very like I don't know if that ever happens in Canada or in the States. It's really quite strict. I may have to get the old toothpick out for this one here because there's a bit of a glumpy glump on there. I don't know. Can you see that? I don't know. Did it go? Oh, no. No, you can't see it. Yeah, you can see it. See at the top there? Anyway, so apparently that's quite common. That yeah, if you are over that 3 hours, and then if you're over a certain amount of time for beyond that, you can get even more cash back. I think the only other good story once was I got bumped for a flight, and this is when I lived in the States, and I got bumped from the flight because I overbooked. And then they put me on the next flight. It was a direct flight, so I got home earlier, and I got like $2,000 in coupons. So I took the family down to where did we go? Like I don't know, somewhere in the Caribbean. My memory is not very good. Aruba. That's where we went. We went to Aruba. That was a good holiday. Thank you, thank you. Whoever that was, American, I guess it was. There it is. Those are the only good stories I have of flying. The rest of them are horror stories, just like I'm sure you all have. Uh, I don't know. You know who I saw do that for the very first time, John, was Fluffy. I think I think that's the first time I saw Fluffy. L.A. Fluffy. Well, is there any other Fluffy? And he put a video. It's not that bad. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it and see. It cleaned up really, really nice. So Fluffy had a video with a toothpick, but I was kind of, who is this guy? And does this really work? I guess if you go really easy, it goes really well. Check this one out. I don't may only be able to find it on YouTube. So it's a little free jazzy. But look, I'm going to say a little bit more avant-garde than free jazz. And that's kind of a little bit my sweet spot. All right. Stop blabbing on here. What else we got? Yeah. I got the good vibes. I'm coming out to BC too, huh? I'll text you, John. I don't have a lot of time in Vancouver, unfortunately. Hey, here's some non-jazz. Yeah, I think I only have like 2 days in Vancouver. One way. I'm gonna stay downtown. What's the good place called there? I felt like the prices have really popped there in Vancouver or something. But there's one store I like that's down on Hastings. I was gonna ask you about that, John. See if you wanna connect if you're feeling up for it. Okay. Well, this has been on my list for a long, long time. I'm also wondering. This is an original. So this is an original. Is an original American? No, it's an original English copy. Gatefold. I think this is, as I said before, I think this is a masterpiece. I think it's a real masterpiece. And a little bit of damage there. I got a really good deal. But the guy, this was from Tomb Records in Hackney. The guy had every single the Sonic Youth. In fact, he had multiple copies of every single Sonic Youth LP, original LPs, original English LPs for sale there. So I was kind of, okay, what am I going to get? And this was, of course, has been sitting on want list. It's in pretty good shape. I don't think this has been played before. Wow, there's a lot of reflection going on there. Yeah, that's for me though. I'm just gonna say this is kind of an LP. My taste is not shared. Sorry, Jeffrey, did you see that? So it's kind of yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of silver. The light here is not great, but sorry. Do you have an original of this? So the other question I had, hey Jeff, is I read somewhere online, can't remember, that actually there's not a huge difference in the different versions of this LP. I don't know if that's true or not. It's probably digital. Anyway, so maybe it's just a bit of a vanity. Okay, this is an original copy that I got here, and actually the sound is not going to be all that much better. But it's been reissued like a million times, hasn't it? Right? And I think it's been remastered at least once. And then there's all these box sets and this, that, and the other. Holy smokes! But like I was saying, I'm jumping around a bit. Sorry, folks. I'm getting excited here. The rest of the folks here in my house probably won't, and my cats probably won't appreciate this one as much. So yeah, actually, I've got a couple hours here, so I might put that one on later if no one pops up, and if Jeffrey has to work too many hours and I get bored of talking to 2 or 3 people. But yeah, I don't think this has been played. The other question I have is, that one's got plastic inside. Do you keep those ones, or do you get your rice paper ones going? This is an original, so I'm gonna go for the rice paper. Invest in vinyl. These things aren't so bad, and just price wise, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna upgrade. You can see there's like a big pile of my throwaways over here. 2 records. Right. Again, this comes in a gatefold. Yeah, I guess the other thing, is like $100+. You're saying? I can't remember what I paid for this. I didn't pay that much. Jeff, I think I paid. Some people don't like to talk about money, but I don't mind it. I think I paid 35 or 40. I think he wanted 40, and I kind of bundled it with something else. But I think I looked online and saw that it was, somewhere that I thought it was more like, 80, 90 US dollars. So just hard to find. I don't think I've ever seen an original copy. So yeah, that'll be fun. I fucking love this album too. It's just first time I listened to it, I'm like, whoa. I saw them live. Anyone see them live? I saw them live with Dinosaur Jr. Double bill. Dinosaur Jr. Sonic Youth at Amherst College in Western Massachusetts. It's all about my days, my grad school days, apparently tonight. Whew. Excited. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that was a killer find. I think I got, well, as everyone knows, I usually am pretty obsessed on the jazz LPs, but I did get a couple non-jazz ones, and that one is at the top of the list. The other one, I think, maybe downstairs. I was playing it last night. Maybe it's here. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's not right. What happened there? Whoop. Yeah, I think I'm going to play that one. I'm going to play that one tonight. Oh my God, just totally went out of focus, and the world started to spin. Yeah, Dinosaur Jr., I think I've seen them. I think we may have talked about that, right? Didn't we? When we had our punk stream a couple months back. Um, that one, I think I've seen Dinosaur Jr. more than any other band. I think I've seen them at least a dozen times. That's pretty obsessive, huh? In probably like 4 or 5 different countries too. Lee Morgan's Sonic Boom. You can see that this is the same as that classic series, you know, the one in the corner that has, where is it? That's kind of, here it is. Same, only it's a British version. Sorry about that. I think I bundled a couple of these together. Again, this is going for a good like $40-50 online now. Theodore Walton, Ron Carter, Billy Higgins. And these are in good shape, I'm gonna say. Let's have a look. That one looks like it's only in paper. I need something to put that up here, right? So people know what the hell I'm talking about. How about I don't know. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. If anyone wants to come up, let me know and we can chat a little bit. While I'm cleaning my LPs, if you just join me, I'm just cleaning some of my LPs. I've been on the road for the last 4 weeks. Been in Slovenia. I've been in, I've been in London. I've been in Shropshire, halfway from London to Manchester. And then I was in Manchester for a couple of days as well. So these are LP. So this one I got in Eldica, from Eldica Records in Dalston, which is where I was staying. That's a great record store. I've made at least one other video about that store. I'm slightly obsessed about that store. Okay, good price on this one too. They had a little Blue Note section there, and the guy must have bought just he got a huge collection of jazz that he was telling me that he bought from a library that had a public library that had closed down in South London. So it was considerably better than in past years. So I spent a good afternoon in there digging around and chatting to him. So this is yeah, like I said, it's one of those Blue Note Classic series, only for the British market. So I don't know if anyone knows, if anyone has any of those versions again. I bought a couple of these versions over in the Netherlands as well. But what's to say? So this is from 79. Does it have? Yeah, this does say London on the back. Ganton House in London. So I don't know if, I'm not sure if there's actually a Dutch copy, but I have found a few others in the Netherlands before. Anyway, Sonic Boom. Was that one reissued? I feel like that one, has it been reissued? I don't know. Or it will be. I can't keep up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little behind on my tone poets. It's kind of I've just been so busy lately with travel and everything else. Some of you know I'm working on a big project. It's not public yet, but that'll be. I'll talk about that in a few weeks. That's going to be I'm hoping people in the vinyl community will be interested in that project, and that people will still like me after I do that project. I'm sure they will. I'm a likable kind of guy, right? Right, Jeff? Jeff knows me. How many people? We've got a few people. If anyone wants to jump up and say hi. I'm just cleaning my records. Okay, so there's the Sonic Boom. Lee Morgan. I have listened to that a couple times. That's in pretty good shape. Yeah, that one. I think it's been played a couple times. Just, it was in a really shitty sleeve, really dirty, nasty sleeve. There we go. That one's ready to go. What have I got next? Let me put that one in an outer sleeve, and then I'll move on. I haven't got to one yet I have a few of them that still had their shrink, and I think Jeff and I had a debate about whether or not you should remove the shrink, and I'm definitely someone who likes the shrink on to remain, even though some of them are kind of gross, you know. Too much fun buying used records. Yeah, I want to come back down to Detroit again. I think we're gonna have to chat. I think it might be in the winter because it wasn't all that much. It was like once you get past Hamilton, it's really only about like 2 hours 45 minutes down to Windsor, Detroit. The Tone Poet Society. A friend of mine, I'm hoping Josh is up in Ottawa. He was talking about the new Donald Byrd. What's that one called? I forgot. He said it sounded really excellent. And I was just like, don't say shit like that to me. It's like, oh fuck. This one I picked up in Slovenia. I haven't opened this one yet. And so I'm not going to clean it. I just thought I'd show it. It's a double LP. Is that a live one? It is live, isn't it? Oh man, I don't know. Yes, recorded live at the Village Vanguard. There we go. There's the lineup. There's just Bill and Thomas Morgan on double bass. That one's called Epistrophe. What does that mean? Epistrophe. Someone tell me what that means. I'm too busy here. Okay, here's another. All right, so here's another English one. This is from Tomb Records in. Oh wow, the back is a bit falling apart a little bit. I didn't notice that so much. It'll be okay. Anyway, I saw a lot of these jazz series, Savoy series, Realm Savoy series jazz. Looks like an eyeball or something, some dystopic. Yeah, give me 2 seconds, Jeff. I'll drop the link in a second. Mono. So here, let me put the link in here. Copy paste. There we go. So yeah, so Realm, where are they? Bond Street in London. So I saw quite a bit of that imprint when I was around a Mono. Let's have a look. The bottom is kind of falling apart though. Who's on that one? Okay, his brother. Okay, Nat, Hank Jones. Listen to the lineup. Paul Chambers, Kenny Clark. Wow. That was super cheap. I'm gonna say this was like a £6 LP. But I'm a big fan of Cannonball. I have a hard time not saying yes to the Cannon Man. To the Cannon Man. All right. Here's there's the labels again. That kind of eyeball. Same on the other side. Let's get rid of that and give that a good clean. Where's that from? A little bit of humidity on that LP. I think it's 63 recording. Savoy music. It's in pretty good shape. Yeah, I would call that a good VG plus. You can feel anything on there. I think Jeff is ready to pop up. Give me 2 seconds here, Jeff. And here we go. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
You were working.
Yeah, I'm still technically working.
It turned cold, didn't it?
I'll be right back. I gotta shut my TV off.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, Realm Records. I want to say that I saw about 10 copies of this Realm Records everywhere. It's interesting seeing these English ones, and the prices were good. no RVG stamps and things like that. So I'm assuming they took what first generation copy over to the UK for a lot of these LPs I was able to pick up.
Yeah, a lot of times they do like a tape copy too. The master in the UK.
Yeah, possibly. Anyway, I've been hearing I've got a lot more German stuff than English stuff, even though I go to England
That's
all the time.
quality vinyl right there.
Yeah, and then I've just listened to like Mazzy and a few other people talking about, British, because of their obsession with the Beatles and stuff, and just heard a lot of people talking about how British versions are really, really good. It's of course a
Well,
long
I mean, I'm
history
fond
in
of,
engineering, right, in the UK. So
yeah.
so I'm hoping these sound pretty decent, especially that earlier one. Were you here when I showed the?
The Archie Shep, yeah.
Yeah, that one's been on my
That's
list
a
for a while.
badass pickup right there.
It totally is. Yeah, that's really
That's a
hard to
great
find.
score.
Have you ever
And
seen that one
they
in the
label
wilds?
no,
No. Yeah,
no
those. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was
reissues.
at a
uh,
that was at a store run by a couple of guys in Hackney in East London, Atlantic Records, and if you check out their, maybe I'll pull it up. I gotta say, the one guy, the shorter guy, was so nice, and he had a big chat. He was a musician. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. Atlantis. Sorry, I said Atlantic, didn't I? Atlant.
I was watching your walk when you were.
Which
Was
one
that in
did
London?
you?
You picked that up
I
in
did
that
one
little
in.
record fair in London.
Yeah, that one. That I was really surprised. That's in Spitalfields Market. Yeah, in the East End. Because they only do it every once or twice a month, and I always seem to miss it. But it was
That's
it was good.
cool.
There was some serious original stuff there, and when I checked out the prices, I was surprised. Atlantis Records. There it is. So I picked up a couple things from them. Nothing that I've shown or cleaned so far. Sorry, let me see if I can bring this up. I'm a little out of
So have you
shares.
played the Archie Shep yet?
No, I haven't. It wasn't that dirty actually. Share screen. Let me.
I bet that thing sounds awesome, even if it doesn't have
It
RV in it.
it sounded really good on the turntable. A lot of the stores there had stations, right? So
That
I
that that
I listened to it and
yeah, that era of Shep right through there is just amazing stuff.
yeah.
I mean, that Attica record's a all-time classic. That's the
Oh
one that's
god,
on top of my list.
I've got Mr. Bongo put out a 45, of the title track on that one. I think I
Yeah,
overpaid for it, but it was just so much fun.
yeah.
And
What are
then
you
I
gonna
think
do?
a week later I got like a mid 70s version, but I think the OGs on that go for
Yeah,
serious money.
I got outbid on a Japanese version a couple weeks ago on eBay.
Oh yeah. Check that out. Don't these guys look like they should be on a British comedy? The owners.
Yeah,
In fact, this guy on the right looks really familiar. I thought, man, do I know that guy? But these are guys that own the store, which is where I got the chef.
it's like my kind of shop.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
need
I just had to
to get
show
you
that.
back to Detroit. There's been some big collections put out in a couple of the shops. It's been nuts.
Do you want to pull up a couple? Have you got anything next to you right now?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Why don't you pull out a couple things
This
while
is
I
one that you might find. Look what I found.
hang on just 1 second here.
All right.
Oh, I can't believe how many LPs I got. I think I got more than 15, 12 or 15. That's bad. Oh yeah, that's serious. That's a lovely album. Is that an original or?
Yeah, it's original. Really good shape too.
I think I've got the reissue of that one. And that one you got at People's or?
No, I got this in Ann Arbor and at Encore.
Oh, lovely.
Encore bought a big jazz collection, all Impulse. They've been putting them out.
Nice. Have you listened to it? It looks
Yeah,
clean.
it sounds amazing.
I can see that. It looks really clean.
But I overpaid. I'll show you what I picked up at People's.
I overpaid.
Um,
No one ever says that. Have you noticed? No one online is like, "Oh yeah, I paid way too much for this." Or I got home and I
well,
looked at it.
I wouldn't
Has
say
that
I
ever happened to you?
overpaid.
You
I
get it.
just
You get home. You think it's one version, and then you get home. It's you spend like, okay, I'm gonna spend $40 because this is the cha 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 version. And you get home and it's not the cha 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 version, and it's the
yeah.
$15
I think overpaid is probably the wrong way to put it. I've spent so much money the last 2 months
Yeah,
that I had to leave some stuff. Like they had a mint um, Elvin Jones for John C. And it was
yeah,
only 125, and I couldn't swing it. And then I went back and it was gone already. But I got this at
yeah.
People's
I love
out
that.
of the bin. It's a second press,
That's sweet.
really
Mm.
clean.
There were,
Had to
I think a lot of those sold, right? So they're not too expensive, but you get an early one, they sound really nice.
Yeah, they're creeping up there though. I mean,
For that
like
one,
a first press monos is getting up there.
yeah.
Found this last week in
Oh
Detroit.
yeah, yeah. Did you post that online? I think you posted that to the
Yeah,
Discord,
I
didn't you?
put this out on the Jazz Bums Discord, but look at this thing is
Wow, let's have a look.
insane.
Oh man, is that from the same collection?
Yeah, this is from People's.
Mm,
Just
wow,
this record is
that's very
amazing.
nice. That's very nice. Yeah, I've got that one.
Very blues oriented for the teeth.
Yeah.
He plays sax a lot on it. Just really cool record. All right, I got two more because I only grabbed a few.
Yeah, go for it.
Then I found this. I found this the same trip last week.
Ah, that's right. So I saw that one too in London, an
Yeah,
original.
look at
I
that.
think we had a conversation about that online, didn't we? Yeah, it was
We
like the
did,
guy
yeah.
wanted £80 for it, like
Yeah,
$140.
yeah,
What?
$25,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's mint.
So is that an original or
Yeah, it's the
like?
original.
Can I have a look at it? Can I have a look at the labels on that? It's a black.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black are the originals, not the blue. Right?
I've been
And
really into
what kind of condition? It's a sweet album, isn't it?
the second I like the second side better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's quite trumpety, isn't it?
Well, it's dueling saxes. So there's a tenor and an alto.
Okay.
Sonny
All
Red
right.
plays alto.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very horn driven.
Yeah.
But it's Tommy Flanagan, Elvin Jones is the rhythm section with Ronnie Matthews. So
yeah.
It's hard bop. It's Riverside hard bop at its finest,
That's awesome.
But the score of the summer, we should probably maybe do like a best of the summer dig. Because I mean, you know me.
I think we did that already. We did that already. We're gonna have to do a best of the fall, I think.
Yeah, whatever, because I've been on a roll again. But yeah, I pulled this off the wall at People's.
What?
I haven't shown this on the Discord yet. This thing is cherry.
I think Valley was. I think did he have an extra copy of that? And we were talking about.
Yeah, I tipped him off on a copy.
Yeah.
At a local Lansing store that he bought.
Yeah.
But look at this thing, man. I could not let this thing go. I mean, it doesn't even play with a tick.
Sweet. Those
I was like, what's up with the pata on the wall? And then they started talking to me, and I was just like,
did they have the price on it, or did they have the price on it, or was it a conversation thing?
Yeah, I paid for it. I mean, this was not something that they were going to just let go.
Yeah. But you cash paid for it, and they know you, right? Do they know you now? They kind of know.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah, they knew who I am. I made sure of it because I mean, I try to get in there once a month because I live like 90 minutes from the store.
Yeah, so it's a commitment, right?
Yeah, and so they kind of like, hey, you're the guy from Lansing.
It's true. You're only like about 2 hours closer than I am. Does that make any sense? Did you have? Was that your last one?
That's all I got. Yeah, right now. I got a bunch of other. Those are just some of the impulse stuff I wanted to pull out and show you, and that Jazzland that you were looking at.
Yeah. Who is it that was talking? Who is it that was talking about one of the London buyers? One of the big. West End London shops would fly to Detroit, went to People's. Did you see
Paul,
that?
yeah, Paul was in
Was
there.
Paul? Oh, that's what it was. Paul was talking about that.
Yeah, Breakfast King for anyone out there in the YouTube land.
Yeah, that
He
kind of
was in the
makes me
shop, and
cry
what
about
really
that.
bummed me out is because I was talking to Paul, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna be there on Wednesday because I went to see Electric Light Orchestra. It's
Yeah, I
the
saw
final
that. How was
tour.
that show, by the way?
Oh my god, it was the best.
I saw
I
your
mean,
picture of the stage. It was, that crazy,
yeah, it was so
UFO
good,
thing or whatever.
and I was apprehensive too because I mean, Jeff Lynne, he's 76, 77,
Oh yeah,
but
they're
it was
really
the
young.
last tour. And when you're going to see a guy who played with the Beatles,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, and he blew us away. It was so good.
Yeah, the
But
review of the show here was like 5 out of 5 in the
yeah, it
in the
was.
newspaper.
So
Yeah,
anyone out there, they're touring for another 6 weeks in the States. You
yeah.
got a chance to go see him, go see it.
And of
But
course they played their hits, huh? Of course.
yeah, that's all they did.
Yeah.
The
Well, they
first
have their
cut
own.
was the single off that album they did about 12 years ago, and then it was just a boom, 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 boom of just hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What was the
But,
venue?
anyhow, so I knew I was going down there Wednesday, and then Paul posted that, and I'm like, and so I'm like, oh my god, the guy just cleaned out People's 3 days before I'm going to be there. But no,
And yeah,
you
and
just
yeah,
saw
and
what
the
I
other
bought there. That
and the
place
other
is.
the other thing too, where that guy's from. What's the name of it? Oh, I can't remember. I've been in there, and I used to go there all the time. It's in the West End. It's just off of Berwick. Sounds of the Universe is what it's called. Sounds of the Universe. It's got this beautiful brown tiled building. So it's a stunning place, and they used to have a great selection in there. And I don't mean to poo-poo the place, but yeah, they don't have as much in there now, and the prices are like Donald Byrd, Street Lady for kind of £70,
Ooh,
$115. It's just kind of like, whoa, what's happening here? So when I heard that,
Brexit. It's
when Paul
Brexit.
talked about that, I thought, oh my God, they've taken all those wonderful price LPs from
But you've
People's
been in the
and
Peoples, they could have been in the soul section. They could have been in the Motown section,
well, yeah, because they, at Sounds
the
of the Universe,
techno.
yeah, they have. I don't know if they do techno, but they do have soul there. And they also have some of those soul jazz records. So I think the owner
Yeah.
may own that record label.
He obviously left all these impulses behind because I mean, and it was funny. I wasn't really going to go, and my lovely wife said, "Yeah, if you want to go, you can go, but you only got like 15, 30 minutes. You're not going in there for 2 hours
You're on the
because we want
clock.
to go eat." And so I was like, "All right, promise. I'll just hit the new arrival bin."
Well,
It
that's you can
literally
you can
that's
get
all I
you can go through there in 5 minutes if like
and
no.
this is what I pulled out of it is just this kind of heat. I just bought that this summer. That is a really good record.
It fucking kicks, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I got this from VDS Vinyl. That sounds like a disease, doesn't it? Vinyl delivery service, which is in London as well, in the flower market.
Isn't that
And
a
I talked about
Japanese shop?
is that a no? Is that a Japanese copy? No, no.
Vinyl
This
delivery
is
service? I thought that was
Oh,
a Japanese.
sorry, sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They mostly have Japanese stuff, so you only get a few American copies in there. It's a black bee. It's stamped, right? So 73.
Oh,
It's
that's
in
cool.
beautiful, beautiful condition. Even like I don't know if you can tell. It's 73. Look at that. It's
Does
in
it have
really
RVG stamper?
yeah, yeah. It's stamped,
Oh, that's gonna sound
and
great. Those
and
Liberties sound great.
they've got really nice turntables in there, and this was little it was on the edge in terms of pricing, but then I listened to it and it was like, holy smokes, this is
Yeah,
this is
it's.
killer. And it's pristine. It's absolutely pristine. So I
I'm
always try
buying.
to do the middle range discogs, maybe even a little bit cheaper, but this is almost near mint, I'm gonna say. So I'm like, okay,
That's a
I'll
find another record, right? Find it
yeah.
again. Are you gonna find it again like that?
No,
I have,
no,
I have a New
I don't
York
think so.
label that's like VG, so I'm
Yeah.
definitely looking for an upgrade of it. That's a great record. I love that. I love that lineup too.
Am I keeping that? Do you keep those? I
Yes, I
guess
keep
anything
those.
that says Blue Note. I'm like, it's not the most interesting inner
I
sleeve,
just
is
shove
it?
it back in the sleeve
Yeah,
because
but
I back sleeve everything. The only thing I throw away are like generics
yeah,
because they're
like the
musty, you know.
you can see the dirt
Yeah,
on that.
that's history. I'd throw that away.
But yeah, so who's on that? This one,
That's
Jeff,
Junior
this
Cook
wasn't.
Blue Mitchell, right?
It is Louis Hayes, yeah, on drums. That one was not on my
Shred
radar. It was not on my radar. Of course, I know this LP and
Those are the
Horse
best
Silver,
finds. Congrats.
but that that just sounded way
It's like
too
near
good,
perfect hard bop. That
isn't
lineup
it?
of Forest Silver is
And just the
the
tempo, the
best.
tempo is like, holy smokes! This I played last night. I don't know if you're into. No, I don't.
I
Not that
got
one. I
5 minutes and then I gotta go. I gotta go finish up work.
okay.
So
Do you like Fela Kuti?
I'm not familiar.
Not so much. Oh, it's African.
Not familiar with it.
Uh, shit. Now I'm confused. Which one is which?
You know,
So I got these. I got these. Ah, I got these
I saw your
two,
video. Oh, that's awesome.
but I had played
Is that a
them. So I played
trumpeter?
them last night, right?
Oh, body and soul. Are those
And
trumpet labels or tridents?
one is, and let me see which one it is.
Nice.
It's this one. And I played them in the other order, right? So I
I love
played.
those Verve Clef series reissues from the late 50s. Those are
So
great sounding
that's
records.
a black Trident from '62.
Or
This
V or
I'll show
whatever
you.
the T or whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, yeah. What did I say? Trident. Anyway,
I said it
um,
first. Yeah.
this is the original, and
That's awesome.
it was night and day. I put on this one first, and I thought it definitely needs a clean, but it was very.
It's
There was
not
a
the
bit of
same.
distortion in it. I felt like there was a bit of. I
Mhm.
was a little disappointed, and then holy
Those
smokes,
those late 50 trumpeter label monos, they are so good.
this I'm gonna say was probably one of the best selling sounding albums that I have. And her voice
That's great.
just
Vocal album too.
I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned at the sound. And again, it's
You know, a lot of the purists, they don't go after those because they're reissues. Technically they're reissues, right? But they're reissues that started in like 58. So they're
yeah,
like 58, 59, 60.
yeah. But
You
the
know,
recording
it was
on
when Grants was just reissuing all his Norgram and Clef.
yeah.
I think they're awesome. And
But
I find those
if you see any of those clef, just yeah, get it
I
immediately.
find them between like $10 and $50 depending on the title.
Yeah, so those two together, I had that I got from the Spitalfield market. So guy had some pretty great stuff, but he was asking a bit too
Yeah,
much for it. I haggled. I really haggled with that guy. I wanted them. I wanted them.
that's awesome.
I wanted to bring back something that my wife would like. You know what I mean? So I always try to
Yeah,
get some things I know she's gonna like, and she loves Billie Holiday. So I haggled and
that's an all-time
haggled.
classic too.
Plus, I don't know too. I don't know if you've been to
Who's
London.
playing
I
piano on
got
that with her? Is that Oscar Peterson backing her up, or is that Mel Walker?
no. Um, who
Or is that
is
too? That's probably too early for Mal, isn't it?
Barney Kessel is amazing on this
Oh,
too.
Barney Kessel's in guitar. Okay.
Ben Webster.
Oh wow. No wonder Chad reissued it. He loves Ben Webster.
Yeah, yeah. I think how many of his? I think I've
I'm going to
picked
show you
up a
one more before I
couple.
leave because you brought up
Yeah, yeah,
Barney Kessel. Give me 1
yeah.
second.
Barney Kessel. No, it sounds. I was just blown away by this album. Sounds fabulous. Those of you who are just joining,
I
I'm
also
going
found
through.
this Wednesday in Detroit.
I
Ooh,
don't know that one. What year is that one? I've seen it.
it's a
Okay,
new
I believe.
jazz. It's a new jazz title, like 1960. So this is like a 65 Blue Trident reissue.
Yeah.
This is in Eastern Sounds mode of
Okay.
Latif.
All right. I'm all over
Yeah,
that. Is
but
that's a Van Gelder recording, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
check this one out if you get a chance. Let's Cook.
I don't think I've
Two
seen that.
different
What
sessions.
What year are we talking about for that one?
This is early 60s, but
Kessel.
it's two sessions. The first side is Kessel with Victor Feldman, Hampton Hawes on piano,
Oh yeah.
Leroy Vinegar on bass, and Shelly Manne on drums. That is just
Ooh,
awesome.
Hampton
And then
Haas.
the second side, Kessel's with he's got Ben Webster on tenor, Frank Rosolino on trombone, Jimmy Rolls on piano, Leroy again on bass with Shelly Manne. It is
All right.
just a killer
Show the
session.
cover of that one again. I gotta imprint that one in my mind.
Let's cook.
Let's cook. All right. I don't know a
And
lot
this is another tip
about
for you.
Kessel actually. I don't have any of his stuff where he's lead on it.
So
Oh,
look for these early
yeah.
70s contemporary reissues. You can get them for like $10
Okay.
and they sound great. So they're
Yeah.
like from the 70s, and Bernie Grudman was a very young man doing mastering for a contemporary in that era. I don't know if he did these. I probably should look at the dead wax. I'm not a big audiophile that knows all the stupid stamper stuff, but
Mm,
these sound really good for the money.
it sounds good. Where did you find
Uh,
that one?
this one I actually bought off eBay. This old man is liquidating his collection on eBay,
Yeah.
and I bought a bunch of stuff from him. Bunch of Pacific jazz and contemporary. He's out in Palm Springs. In
Sweet.
he's must be retired Californian.
Mm. Before you go, you got any tickets for any shows this fall?
No, I just went to that ELO. What I'm waiting for is for Wayne State to open up that new jazz auditorium.
Yeah, I saw
And
you asked Paul about what the timeline is on that one, but and since I've checked their website a couple times, but there's nothing on there, is there? Listed, I
nah,
mean.
they're still like, but you got to figure a lot of the jazz guys go out on the road starting in
Yeah.
March, so that should be pretty exciting. Maybe there'll be
Maybe
something when you're in
maybe
town.
maybe that's something that if there's something good that pops, let me know and then I'll get tickets and I'll come down and spend the night or two. And
Yeah.
we can do some music and hit the usual, hit the places.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
we
it
were
was
all
good to
going to go.
reconnect. And I have your record that I promised you, but I promised it to you right before I left.
Oh, no worries.
It's right here.
No
I
worries.
promised to you right before I left, and I haven't pulled my shit together. I just got back yesterday. I'm still jet lagged, so but it's on my list of things to do.
All right. Well, take care. I got to go do a firewall change, so
All right,
I got to
Have a
roll.
good one. Great to see you again.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up.
See ya.
Great finds. Cheers. All right. That was Jeffrey. Anyone else wants to come up? Let me know. Um, Again, those of you just joined, I'm just got a couple hours to clean some LPs. I've been on the road. You know, first I've started my YouTube channel and just call it the OJseez. But then what I really wanted to talk about is record stores. And for my work, I do a lot of traveling and a lot of traveling by myself. So I just find that it's really a great a great kind of pastime, a great time killer, especially, of course, when I'm solo traveling, just to pop into record stores. So I was in Ljubljana, in Slovenia, and so some of these are from Slovenia. This uh, this one that I'm cleaning right now. Oh, there's something I also wanted to show. These two I got Billie Holidays. I'm doing too many things at once here. I got in a record fair in London, as I was just explaining to Jeffrey. And here, let me show you something about this cover. This is for the Songs for Distingue Lovers, which is incorrectly listed on this here. It's should be a GUE, but it's a QUE, which is weird because this is a reissue. It's 62, not a 59. But then I also, when I opened it up, I also found all these great little news clippings that the previous owner had obviously cut out and stuck on this LP, inside this LP on the inner sleeve for this LP. So anyway, yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'm gonna give this a good clean because it sounded a little when I played it last night. It was Billie Holiday songs for disengaged lovers. I felt like it was a little sounded distorted and it was quite dirty. So I need to give it a real good deep cleanse here and see. I might put it back on this afternoon. Anyway, let me talk a little bit about the kind of what I found in UK record shops compared to record shops here in Canada and in the US. The first thing that I found was that there were a lot more 45s. And I grew up in England for a while in the early 80s, and singles were really popular. Those of you who know anything about popular music in the UK may have heard of this show called Top of the Pops, which is an absolutely iconic, weekly show. I'm gonna say it was Thursday night. All the bands lip synced. It was awful, including like the Sex Pistols and the Clash, and so there's a lot of politics around the BBC forcing the guest acts to lip sync on the show. But it's kind of like a top 20 countdown show. And I think because of that show, the popularity of that show, Top of the Pops on the BBC, that this kind of singles market, this is my thesis. I'm laying out my thesis. If you think I'm full of it, then come on up and we can have a debate. Or you can just leave a nasty comment for me down there. So anyway, so I think that's why there's so many singles in the UK, and there's also so many singles from the 80s, which is, I think, maybe I'm being biased here because of my age and my demographic. I think that's when pop singles really, that was the heyday of the singles market. So tons of 45s. Um, in Manchester, this is slightly different from London. I was really surprised of the record shopping in Manchester, and I'd really like to talk to someone who's from Manchester about it. But I was just in the city for 2 days, and I went to what's called the Northern Quarter in Manchester. Manchester is a very walkable city. It's 2 hours on the train from London, and actually they have a really good airport. So I flew home. It's a direct flight from Manchester to Toronto, and it's much mellower than flying in and out of London and Heathrow or Gatwick for that matter. It's just a nightmare getting around. Um, but so it's a walkable city. I stayed downtown, and it was on my list. I had a couple of work things to do, but I did run around for maybe 2 or 3 hours at the end of one day to check out the record stores. And what's really interesting there is that, yeah, there were a lot of 45s there too, definitely compared to us here in Toronto and many American cities too. But every single record store I went into, and I went into maybe 5 or 6 record stores in Manchester, in and around the Northern Quarter, um, there was a lot of club music. I think almost every store had techno and house and drum and bass and some experimental and other stuff. I guess that's not really club music, experimental. Hey, let's go to the experimental club tonight, honey. Woo woo. Get on that dance floor. That was my experimental rap there, by the way, in case you weren't paying attention. Um, every store. Now, I think, there's certain cities that have that culture, that music culture, right? I'm going to say that Vienna has a real kind of DJ club music scene. London, not as much. I just didn't see it as much. There are a couple record stores. Well, there's probably more than a couple record stores um, that specialize in, let's just call it club music or different types of club music. But anyway, Manchester, everyone had club music. So that was really interesting. Now that I'm blathering on about Manchester, let me pull a couple of my finds from Manchester out now. That one really needed a clean. That's the Billie Holiday that I got from London, Spitalfields Market. Highly recommend checking out that record fair. It was big. I was surprised. There was probably about 25 vendors there. And the prices were, I thought they were fair. And everyone was bargaining, right? You know, it's not a store. They're not paying big rent. That's when you can save a little bit of money, right? Okay. So there we go. There's the two Billie Holidays. Very excited. Okay, what did I promise? So Manchester. Okay, this is a reissue. Let's pull out a couple things. My bag was getting pretty serious by the time I reached Manchester. But this was from the Eastern Bloc Cafe. What a great store. Holy smokes. Is that wax on the inside? Yeah. I think that one's okay to keep as such. I was asking Jeffrey earlier if we had to pop off and eat. People have to eat. Why do you need to eat? You should just if he knew Fela Kuti. In this one, Grupo Raquere. This is a reissue. So they're calling this Latin Afro-Cuban jazz funk. It's got a neat cover. And there's the back. And this kicks ass. Again, you know, this is a reissue from Mr. Bongo. Is it a 2021? I think it's a 2021. The original Cuban classic, I think it's from 1973. Anyway, stream that one, Mr. DJ Marino. Yeah, stream that one. Well, I guess you don't need to stream that one because you've got the CD. But it's awesome, isn't it? Marino, let me know. Is that Marino from LA that comes up on the Jazz Bums now and again? Anyway, if you want to come up and say hi, let me know. But I played that one, and that one is killer. So yeah, so that was in Manchester. There's a cafe, got a huge patio outside. It's called the East Block. Had a fun T-shirt too that I regret not buying. And then you go in, and you go upstairs, and it's a very small record store up on kind of what would you call it, like a mezzanine, where you're looking down on the cafe, on everyone getting caffeinated. Okay, here's another Manchester purchase. I think that this is the one that's in really good shape. Also, yeah, Eastern Bloc. That the Eastern Bloc. That place had a lot of again club music. Very interesting, friendly guy. A lot of stuff up on the wall. They had some British jazz there as well. Okay. I've talked about this band. Let me pull it out. Oh my God. I think I had them both on one side there. That was bad. Esbjörn Svensson trio from Sweden. I think they're from Stockholm. This is their last studio album. Svensson died at an early age. I think he was early 40s, could even be late 30s, about 15 years ago or so. Maybe it's even longer. They're supposed to play here in Toronto. I had tickets. That's a drag. That's a bummer, Greg. This is their posthumous. So it's a posthumous LP, studio LP. They recorded this in the 301 studios in Sydney when they were in Australia on tour. Double album. This one's really hard to find. Again, these guys came out during the, Moreno was talking about CDs. It was total CD period when these guys were in their heyday. So what are we talking about? 88 to 90, 88 to 2000. So this was released in 2012. And it's awesome. Their earlier stuff was maybe a little bit too kind of Radiohead jazz, but their later stuff became much more complicated in terms of compositions. A lot more avant-garde. So I'm a huge fan of EST, or Estebjorn Svensson Trio. Let's have a look at these. This is on the Axe label. Yeah, 2012. I got that right. These feel quite heavy too. They're definitely, they're at least 180. They feel even heavier than 180. Anyway, stream them. Tell me what you think. Very bass, very rhythm section driven jazz. And like I said, with a little bit of a kind of avant-garde twist through the leader, Svensson, on piano. And I still, to this day, I'm quite sad that I missed the band. Okay. All right. That was, this is a German version. I think there was only one version that came out on vinyl. There's a FLAC copy and there's a CD copy, of course. So I haven't played it. Just this one. Where did I get this one? It wasn't at Eastern Bloc. I can't remember. I actually have a video that I need to cut. I need to edit it, of my trip around the record stores in Manchester. This one's good. There it goes. Cleaning and talking here, folks. I've got a quite a lengthy video. I need to cut it down of my tour around Manchester. So I won't. If you're interested in hearing more about the Manchester scene, it's great. There's a lot of paintings and public art, kind of documenting, celebrating the history of, the usual, right? OJseez, Factory Records. The big Manchester bands from Happy Mondays from the 80s and 70s and 80s and 90s, I'm going to say. So lots of murals. So you kind of get the sense, even just walking around on the street, again, especially in the northern quarter, which is the kind of musical, barsy record store neighborhood, that this city is really steeped in its music, in popular music, in avant-garde music, right? A lot of bands, the Smiths, right? A lot of bands that really not just define, this sounds cheesy, define a generation, but definitely led new trends and created new trajectories in popular music. So that was really great to see. When I was there, a dozen years ago, that wasn't as apparent. Here's a second LP here of the 301. Just kind of cleaning and chatting about my trip to the UK, Slovenia, London, Manchester. What was I saying? I forgot. I'm multitasking too much. Yeah, talking about the art in and around Manchester. So it's really adds to the sense of the cultural, historical, musical legacy of the city, and I just loved it. I thought it was absolutely fabulous. So I took some good pictures, and yeah, let me see if I can get that next video out in the next couple days. I'm still jet lagged, but I want to listen to some of these new purchases, right? So I thought I would just come up and share these new LPs with you. Okay, so that's nice and clean now. 301 Estebjorn Svensson Trio. Stream it. It's effing awesome. Awesome. All right, if anyone wants to come up, let me know and we can chat. Okay, what else do I got? I feel like I got some good stuff in Okay, let me show you some of the British jazz because that's not it's not as accessible, not as obvious to those of us who live on this side of the pond, as I like to say. Here, sorry about that. This is Jasmine Mira's. I believe this is her first LP, Rising. Look at that beautiful art on the cover. This is an album that was produced by Matthew Hall. I think that's how he pronounces his name, who is also from Manchester, plays a trumpet. He's put out quite a number of albums. I think he's double digits now. Very popular. How would you call that jazz? Tell me what you guys think? Do you know Matthew Halsall? I've got 2 or 3 of his LPs, and you can hear the same style of jazz here on Jasmine Myra's LP here. She's an alto saxophone and also flute. Aaron Kent on bass clarinet, Jesper Green, on keyboard, Ben Haskins guitar. There's a harpist, double basses, drums, percussion. So it's a very interesting LP. Good price. That one actually I picked up at the Eastern Bloc. That one I think doesn't need too much of a clean. There's a nice fingerprint there. The nice thing about that store, not all of them, but here in the Eastern Bloc store, which is also kind of doubles as a cafe, is that they have kind of double copies there. I've only seen this. The only other place I've seen this is in Paris, in some of the independent kind of rare groove jazz funk stores on the right bank, which you go into, and they're not like in North America, where you have the horizontal bins. They're these kind of wall mounted bins, and they're kind of better for showing off, right? And so they in many of the new releases, they'll have open copies, so you can pull them down off the wall and have a listen, see if you like it. So this was the only copy they had, so it was open, but again, it's in great shape. I'm sure some of you might think that's a bit weird and wouldn't like that, but I actually quite like it, right? Because you can spend time, you can spin things. You don't have to fiddle around on your effing iPhone to try to find the damn version. You know what I mean? And listen into a store where they're blaring the music, and you've got your iPhone. Try not to swear throughout this whole stream. Okay, that needs an inner one. Okay. So I don't mind it. And this one was the same, actually. This was it? Yes, it was the same, but it was a different store. This is from Piccadilly Records in Manchester. And sorry, I'm trying to pull out the insert. This is an LP that I've been listening to once every week for the last excuse me, everyone, for the last 9 months. Let me read the hype sticker. Should have got some water. Sorry. So it's Ishmael Ensemble. This is a 2021, put out by Severn Songs from the UK. It's so what's it say? So it's a red vinyl version. It's got a little hype sticker here from The Guardian, says a sax, strings, and synth epic. And I agree. It's absolutely fabulous. Little drum and bass kind of jazz, There's this is like a menu at a nice restaurant, isn't it? The tracks on the middle. Some thank yous and whatnot at the back. That's kind of sweet. Very, very kind of simple insert. There we go. This one, this version is not on Discogs. It's a orange. No, No, it's not orange. They say it's red there. Sorry. Um, I said it's red on the hype sticker, but there is the reason why I'm getting confused is because online they said there was an orange vinyl version, but it's with a black cover, or at least a black margins. You can see this is white, so that one had a black margins. Do we really need to know all this, Greg? No, we do not. Maybe we should move on. Anyway, stream that one. This is Visions of Light. They have a newer LP that just came out. Don't like it as much. More singing on it. There's some singing on this. But this is a great LP to put on for a party. Great LP to put on. Sorry. When you're making dinner. So this is when I always put this on. Stream it. Tell me what you think. If you like it. If you think it's crap, but you won't because it's killer. So sometimes I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I kind of stream something a lot, it's harder to find. Or like this one, it's a UK band that's again difficult to find here in Canada. If I stream it too much, then when I see it at a record store, I don't want to buy it just because it's like I'm used to it. I'm used to streaming it all the time, but I just play this album so much. I'm like, oh man. Plus, I kind of overpaid for it a little bit, but whatever. Whatever. Okay, so who's still here? There's 7 people here, but everyone's really quiet. That's okay. It's Wednesday, and I'm taking my time going through this huge pile of stuff. Okay, let's pull out some of these OJC reissues. Actually, this is not a Blue Note. It's a Riverside. I'm not a big Pepper Adams fan, but this is a good deal. I think he was asking 12, but I think I got it for 8. It's an OJseez 031. We'll see what that sounds like. But check out this lineup. Let me see if I can turn it around here. So Donald Byrd, Pepper Adams, Bobby Timmons, Doug Watkins on bass, and of course, the one and only Elvin Jones. So this was recorded at the 5 Spot Cafe, April 15th, 1958. Bop. It bops. There we go. Yeah, I got a good. Is there something in there? Oh my God, it's a 10-pound note. No, it's not. I think they repair the bottom. No, it's in good shape. Look at that. It's in pretty good shape. Listen to it there in the store. This is another. This is an Eldica purchase in Dalston in East London. Again, a great store. I think this is my last purchase there. I think I went in there like 4 times in 2 weeks. The guy probably thought I was stalking him. Plus, I always have my camera. Guys go, oh my God, he's back again. Oh shit. That's funny. I think I was also like a little loopy, I'm kind of there by myself, away from home for 2 weeks. Losing my shit, feeling kind of lonely. Needing to do something at night or in the afternoon after work instead of just sitting at home watching the BBC. Anyhow, so I haven't listened to this one. But well, actually, I listened to it there. A couple of the tracks. As we all know, OJC copies tend to sound pretty damn good, and they're very affordable. So I thought, let's give it a whirl with that kind of a lineup. If you're joining me late too, I told Rewind. I told this great story about when I went to Slovenia, was there for some work, did a little bit of record shopping, but then when I was leaving, the baggage handlers banged into the plane, made the plane late. Arrived in London 4 hours late, and I got a refund because the flight was late. and I got almost 400 Canadian dollars from British Airways, and it arrived like 10 days after I arrived in London. I was in London for 2 weeks, so I told myself that was going to be my LP buying budget. Some free money and free LPs. So everything that I'm showing you here today, that I'm cleaning, and that I'm showing you here today, was paid for. Thank you. Thank you to, or thanks to, the poor driving Slovenian baggage handlers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My record collection thanks you for banging into my plane, my ride back to Heathrow. No, you gotta think it's a good story though, right? Feel free to bang into the plane if I'm gonna be able to buy some LPs. Just don't bang into the plane too hard. All right, what else we got? What else do we have? Okay, I'm getting near the end here. Actually, what time is it? Okay, it's 7 o'clock. This is pretty good. I might speed up a little bit here. Hold on, it's been on my list for a while. This is another OJseez reissue that I found. Where did I find this one? This one I found in Eldica Records as well in Dalston on the east side of London. OJseez 074 is the number. Jackie McLean, Hardman, Waldron on piano, Watkins bass, and Taylor on drums. So originally a Prestige imprint, a Van Gelder recording. And yeah, I haven't had a chance. It's been on my list for a while. I'm never going to get an original copy. And it's also Jackie McLean, early Jackie McLean that I'm a 60s. Actually, some of the early 70s or mid 70s Jackie McLean I quite like as well. But I'm more of like the weird ass avant-garde stuff with Grack and Montcourt, That's the sweet spot. The Blue Note stuff then is what I'm talking about. I actually picked up a couple of those earlier. If you want to check out my Japan trip video, you'll see some of the Jackie McLean that I got. That I don't mind spending a lot of money for. But for this one, what's it called? Introducing. Is that what it's called? Introducing? No. I think it's just called Jackie McLean and Co. Is that right? Yeah, I guess so. Again, not necessarily my favorite, but I think I got this for a good deal. I'm gonna say for £8. I think over the years, over the last since COVID, since the end of COVID, I'm just gonna say that I thought the prices in the UK were madness, really bad. The same price in pounds as in dollars, so basically double the price, or at least in Canadian dollars, at least. But now, when just over the last year and a half, I'm going to say that maybe things have really popped here, and the prices I'm finding in the stores. Again, the stores, if you go to London, don't go to the downtown stores, the West End stores. Go to the East End. Go to the East End. This is where you're going to get good deals. This is where you're going to get funky stores. This is where people are going to talk to you. This is where you're going to be able to get a coffee, and chat to the owner and do some digging. Like, that's fun. That is fun, fun, fun. Okay, nice and clean. How's everyone doing? Yeah, that good, huh? Weirdos. Okay, what's next? Now that I've insulted you. Whoa. Okay, I should have shown this one to Jeffrey when he was up earlier, Mr. Detroit, or Mr. Lansing. Sorry, Jeff. Uptight from Gene Ammons. one of his earlier ones. Okay, this is that's on a Prestige, right, in the States originally. But you can see here, this is an English version. Transatlantic Records. Anyway, have a look. There's Walter Bishop. It's probably and Arthur Taylor on drums, pretty well known. That one, I think he let me have it for £20. Yeah, so a little expensive. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here on this one. I don't know if this. Let me show you the labels, but I can't remember if this was an original. Oh my God, this inner sleeve is disgusting. Jesus, that's gross. Anyway, there are the labels. Let's have a look here. I think it might be an original English copy. Lots of scuffs on it, but no noise. So Gene Ammons, yeah, you can find them all over Detroit. Soul jazz, right? Those of you who don't know Gene Ammons. So I've been collecting his stuff for the last 2-3 months after I found a lot of his stuff in Detroit, in and around Detroit. And so this one I hadn't seen, and I picked it up. Where did that one come from? Did I say already? I can't remember where I got this one from. I think this one could have been from Eldica Records as well. All right, that one actually cleaned up really quickly. Not so bad. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing how these English copies are going to sound of these kind of deep American, soul jazz versions. Okay, what else do I have here? Didn't really talk so much about. Oh no, earlier I talked about the Polish LP that I got in Slovenia, but I think I only bought maybe 2 or 3 LPs in Slovenia. There was one place that had the worst, like online. I love looking at. I don't know if anyone else does this. I love looking at the reviews and the comments on Google Maps. Those will always tell you a lot about about the quality of the store or the owner or whatever it is. Okay, what else we got here? So this has been really good. I've been cleaning like a madman here. So after I get through, I've got about 3 more. Unless someone wants to come up and chat with me, I'm probably gonna wrap up. But I still got a couple good ones to watch, so don't go anywhere. This is a great LP. This is hard to find some early ones. Very kind of simple back cover, isn't it? So initially recorded in '65. This is a Black B version, and that one is that one stamped? Maybe it's not stamped. I can't remember. I can't really see right now. Let me see if I can see if it's stamped. Maybe it's not stamped. No, it's not stamped, and it's really dirty. Let's clean it. But this was in the box on the floor at a record store in Slovenia, or kind of a DJ shop. A lot of DJs were in there. But this wasn't graded or didn't have a price on it, so we had a nice chat and came to an agreement. Yes, we did. What's that? This is like a 75. There were Black Bees that were stamped in 73. Not sure this is a kind of a rule, but this is kind of what I've noticed is that the Blue Note Black Bee 73 stamped, 75. Not always, but a lot of the 75 and on 77 are not stamped. There are exceptions. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. But that's what I found over the years. Okay, that's nice and clean. So Tony Williams, his album Spring. Quite a composer, right? Very avant-garde. Again, that kind of sweet spot between avant-garde and free jazz is where I'm going to put that LP. There we go. Off you go, Tony. Into the collection, never to return. Not sure. I'm gonna play it later tonight. Late tonight. And I cleaned it and there's a big hair on that. I have two cats. We have two cats, so it's hard keeping your LPs clean when you have these shedding little monsters running around. Um, my one cat is really nice and mellow. The other cat is a monster. And when we first got him, literally kind of in that March of when COVID kicked in, he just proceeded to scratch the shit out of my speakers. Rolf Kuhn, Chick Corea, and his brother Joachim Kuhn, a couple German dudes. Rolf is on clarinet. There's John Sermon is on this as well, but he's not listed on the front. Poor John. I just noticed that now. I didn't really check that out before. What a weird ass cover, huh? That's a bit violent, isn't it? 1978. What can I say about this one? I think this one I also got in Slovenia, right back in mid-September. Kuhn is pianist, composer. Again, tends definitely towards the free jazz side of things, but this album is a bit different. And sorry, it's been a little while, so I'm struggling to remember what this was like. This was a bit more boppier, I'm gonna say, definitely compared to his early 70s stuff. Jesus, spit it out, Greg. He's kind of runs a gambit, right? That Rolf Kuhn especially. Also played his 1969 kind of jazz rock LP. Forget the name of it off the top of the head. And I found it in vinyl, Love Vinyl, in Hoxton, again in East London. And that one's a bit of a trippy album, but Love Vinyl was that kind of, how to put it nicely. Their prices were a little trippy too. A little tricky prices. Weren't trippy. Maybe they're tripping up my budget. Thank you once again, you bad driving Slovenian baggage handlers. That sounds like a band name, right? Doesn't it? Crash Bang Ljubljana Airport record budget. Anyway, maybe that'll be a podcast. I should start a podcast about Slovenian baggage handlers. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore about that. I've got two more to go here. This one is not open. I know a lot of people showed this online before, sealed, but I haven't seen it here in Canada. So I picked it up and the price was right. I can't remember where I bought that. Sorry, folks. That one I got at Atlantis. And here, let me show you. Again, this one too is a little bit more of a bop record, or hard bop, I should say. Sorry, 1989. And a lot of David Murray's stuff is much more free jazz earlier. So this is kind of a bit later in his career. And this is on, he has about, I'm going to say 3 LPs. Goodbye, you dirty thing. On why without fail, right? Without fail. This has not been played on Black Thane. Those are so cool. Those are really cool. Oh, there's a little bit of junk on it. So yeah, I think they're all his compositions on this album. It wasn't an expensive album. I don't know what I paid for it. Not very much. and the fella cut me a deal. I think he threw this in actually. In addition to, if you weren't here earlier, I think this is one of the finds of the trip was this. La la la. So I think that actually we did a little bit of a twofer, or a little bit of a wheel and deal on the price. But I listened to this in the store. David Murray Quartet, I want to talk about you, and it sounded fabulous. So it is nice and clean now, and it is about to go into my collection. Anyway, that's it. Okay, hang on. I've got no. All right, one last thing. That I got at some flea market. That was cheap. That was just, it's kind of fucked up, but I just got that for a few euros in Slovenia. But yeah, so that's it. What more can I say? 4 weeks on the road. So I'm gonna say I probably bought 20 albums all told. Please tell me. Thanks, DJ Marino, for the comment. Yeah, so I felt like found a lot of stuff that that was on my list, my want list. Found a lot of stuff that I didn't really know that much about, but that's what's so great about being on the road, particularly by yourself. You have a little bit more time to experiment. Particularly if you know there's a listening station. And yeah, so next tour, where am I going next? Okay, so I promised already the video for Manchester, so look for that. If you haven't already, check out the video that I recorded for the Spitalfields Market. I did a video from there in the east side of London near Liverpool Station. What are the other ones I did? I did one in Dalston and the Hackney. That one's great. I think that's the best video I did. And then I did a video at a small store in the countryside on my way up to Manchester. So something new, something different, something blue. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for Jeffrey for sharing some of his recent buys in the Big D in Detroit. We're definitely going to talk about getting together soon. And make sure to hit like and subscribe. I'll probably leave this one up. It's been fun. And I'll see all of you jazz touristas another day here on the OJseez. Ciao.